I always enjoy it when we meet up. It's
Mm,
once a month, whenever we can. Because I know you're super busy. So whenever you are free to join us for this circle, I feel so blessed because I actually view you as one of my spiritual mentors, honestly. You have given me a lot to think about in terms of especially relationship with our animals,
mm,
both physical and the spiritual,
mm, mm.
in terms of conscious caregiving for animals. And
Yeah.
to be honest, I mean, like, I started this monthly circle really with you in mind, because I felt a calling and very drawn towards you, and it just made me feel very blessed that you have the same uh calling as well, that you
Mm,
want to spread the word about conscious
mm.
caregiving,
It's so
you know.
needed. It's so like everything is the wider consciousness and intelligence, and so yeah, it's honoring the physical that we all are. Like our animals are physical beings, and so there's physical needs and there's practical solutions and logic that we need to support our animals physically. But I'm like, guys, but our animals are also a soul, and when we're not honoring the soul, when we're not contemplating the soul, when we're not exploring the soul, including our own soul, then we're missing. Like we are so missing potential, purpose, our life experiences of why we're here by being in that wider consciousness.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm just like that. Like, I can't not talk about it now. Partly because I'm in it, right? I can't unsee what I've seen, and I can't do what I do, and I can't not talk about it because I know how changing it is for ourselves as well as our animals. I mean, I've literally just done a social media share from a session I did yesterday that yet again has blown my mind. Yeah, and welcome everyone. Welcome
Yeah.
Talita and Mercedes and someone says it's iPad Pro. I don't know your name. If you want to put in your chat your name, welcome. So at least we honor you by welcoming you by your name, iPad Pro.
So anyway, I think for those of you who are new here who don't know Dr. Isla Fishburn, I put in the chat her website, Kachina Canine. She is honestly like someone I absolutely adore. As I said, she's like I view her as one of my spiritual mentors and friends. I'm really blessed to call her my friend now. Um, but she is, let's see, she's a very brainy lady with lots of degrees behind her. So she's got like some PhDs and stuff like that. I don't know,
Beautiful.
like zoologist. I don't know what your conservationist, biologist or something. You know, she's worked with wolves as well. Um, but she is now her focus is very spiritual and shamanic in nature. So, we do this conscious caregiving once a month, whenever I'm blessed to have her join me. And today, she's going to be sharing something that she recently went through last month with Tunkasila, which is, I think, Ida, why don't you explain to everyone your relationship with Tunka?
Yeah. Okay. So Tunkasila is was I should say was my wolf dog. So we lost. Let me honour all my dogs. So a good few years ago now we lost Max. But 2020 we lost Cola, who was another wolf dog. Welcome, Kimberly. Then December the 27th we lost our little dog Charlie, who I have to honour fully. She was known as Charlie Bean by Christmas Pants. But then March the 17th, we also lost Tunkasila. So we lost like a dog 2020, right then to 2021, and then Tunkasila 2022. Um, and Tunkasila in particular, because I've had Tunkasila since I was a puppy, is like not just the fact that I've had her since she was a puppy. She's just my soul dog. Oh my goodness! Like physically wise, we've been through a lot together. We were in an abusive relationship, so I was physically abused, and so was she. She literally saved my life from taking my own. She's a dog that has had trauma from that abusive relationship, and also one of her very early life experiences when I was socializing to the dogs was that she was chased by there was a dog walker who had 10 dogs off lead, and they chased her, and there was instances that happened, and so she's carried a lot of trauma. So through our walk together of life, we've just together like deepened our our spiritual connection, our soul connection, to the point of she also has supported me in my own soul journey, my own exploration of the soul, of wider consciousness, of intelligence, of really tapping into beyond seeing our animal friends as the physical being that they are. Like, the physical being that we all are is, of course, a vibration in itself of like, wow, this is what the animal represents. But we can go beyond that into the wider consciousness, into the intelligence, which in a sense is oneness, right? But it's the wider conscious intelligence beyond the intellect, so beyond the intellect of what we may know, what we may know, what an animal may know, and how they can share this wisdom from their soul, which gets to be something like, oh, when we get to that place and sit into that space, our relationship with our animal friends just changes. And so Tunkasila and I have been on this journey where I went into a deep space with her of like her sharing all the time. I was like, what do you want to share? What is it that you want to share? And then she, as I say, she passed recently. I know this is what we're going to talk about today anyway. But pretty like within like overnight practically, as she passed, she again a share came through, which was you know, you called me Tunkasila, that was my name as you called me, which depicted her wisdom, her wildness, her almost like her medicine, just this powerful, wise, ancient being of knowledge, of knowing, but in the intelligence of the consciousness. And she's like, that's not my name. Like, she's now spirit, so it's like she's now no longer Tunkasila because she's not a physical body anymore. She's like, that's not my name. My name is Najal Najai. So I'm in this new relationship with her. So like she sits here and she speaks. So she sits here and she's like, yeah, let me like speak for me. Like she brings messages for the human race that are ready to hear them, listen to them, of how we explore who we truly are, how we allow our soul to step forward, how we step into that place of, I refer to it as nothingness into knowingness. We become nothing, but in the way that we become nothing, we become everything. And she wants us, like, we're all important. Everything that exists is important. Everything that is alive is important. But she wants us to drop into that place so we realize our full power, potential, and beauty. To really love ourselves, and as we love ourselves, that spreading out to create this beautiful change of existence, where we acknowledge and recognize the love in everything because we recognize and acknowledge the love in ourselves.
Yeah. So Najal, how do you say her
Najal
spirit name?
Najai.
Najal Najai. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. So how has your relationship, during the when she was passing, when she was ready from
Mm.
Tunkasila, when she was going to pass through and leave her physical body, what
Yeah.
were the things that you did in ceremony with her?
Mm. Thank you for asking that question. So yeah, and you know what it's really made me realize, and there's something like it's kind of filtering down. It's not quite in a physical creation yet, but something's filtering down about how do I create some sort of workshop of where we can create sacred space and ceremony for our animal friends that have passed, because that that isn't what is happening that much. So we always have this celebration, like we've got a puppy or we've got a kitten or whatever it may be. Like we celebrate and honor birth, and we celebrate and honor events and life events. But when it kind of comes to death, um, largely because we're just not taught about it anymore. Of how do we go into ceremony? How it's just not a conversation that we have about how death is also a ceremony. How death is also a celebration. The celebration of the physical body that's now back into spirit. So there's that part of it, and there's also the part of like so many of us, because we're not taught about death, or that we are taught that it's something to fear, something to be scared of, something that is so painful as it is because it's an initiation, that we're just like, wow, we better not talk about it. And for me, I'm like that, why, or not even a why question, when did we stop going into ceremony around death? And so when Tunkasila was passing, a few weeks before that, it was clear that she was it was clear that she didn't have long left. And there was, so when I say there was clear from a connection with her, it was clear, but also then looking at her physical body. So that's why for me the beauty is, yes, we can always rely on the physical, but wow, when we blend the physical and the soul together, it's just even more profound. So her eyes, literally, it was like her eyes were always so big and wide and just bright, like beautiful, like marble eyes, like you'd see on a teddy bear. And it was like someone had pushed them in, so they were really sunken. And also her smell had really changed. You know, there was other physical things, like she wasn't walking very well and she wasn't really eating, and but I just kept connecting with her, just going, okay, are you ready to pass? Is now time? Do you want assistance? Do you want to pass naturally? And just every day she was just like, not today, not today. And so I went into a ceremony with her, I think 3 weeks before she died, to say, do you know what? And this is something that I actually do for, I do variety of different types of soul sessions. One of the soul sessions that I do for animals that are soon to pass, that are very, very unwell, it's kind of looking likely that they're soon to pass. So I did this ceremony for her. Sorry, no, I lie. First and foremost, I did this soul session for her to say, hey, what is it that you would like when it's your time to pass? Share with me. And it's, it's a little bit like sitting down with our parents or grandparents and asking them, like, funeral arrangements. What music would you like? Just share with us. And so we went in this beautiful space, and it was really beautiful. I mean, some of the stuff that she shared, like she shared a song with me, which is very common when I do these sessions, but she shared a song with me that is really just like, she's like, this is a reminder of like our relationship, our time together. She shared a film. It's a really old film called The River Runs Through It. And she was like, yeah, you need to watch this film. Like, you need to watch this film whilst I'm still alive. Like, you and my husband Stevie, so you, Stevie, and me, like, we're just going to sit and watch this film. And I hadn't heard of it before, and I've not seen it before, but oh my goodness, when watching this film, me and my husband were like that. Because there was so many synchronicities. And even things that would just be really personal to me and Stevie, and no one else would even notice it. And I was just like, you clever girl. And throughout the entire film, she got the point in her life where she did need a lot of comfort, which was very hard for her because she's a very, very independent girl. And as she was starting to fail, she just needed someone to be around, and that was very, very hard for her to accept as well. But whilst we watched this film, she just lay so still. And then as soon as the film finished, she just did a big stretch and a big sigh. And even in that film, there's these beautiful words, and I will, before we finish today, I will share those words, because, oh my goodness, they just like an arrow, they just shot straight to my heart. But I'm sure they will for a lot of us, because it was just words around just oneness, the beauty of life, all that we're connected to. So there was that. She also did a share with me that I think, did I put up here? Which I'll share. I'm sure I put up here. I asked her. I'll share this as well. There's two shares that I have that I asked her. One the night before she died, and then one a few weeks ago. And then she shared, what she would like on her altar. So there's some general information that I will send out where someone says, like, I think my dog's gonna pass, or my dog's just passed, or my dog's gonna pass tomorrow. And I'm like, do you know what? Sending you love and holding. I haven't got opportunity to sit with your dog, but there's some general information that I can send out, and one of them is like how we can set up an altar. So you can just set up an altar, but a dog will also share kind of what they want to be around in this altar. And Amrys, can I share my screen? Do you need to change? I can share my screen. Perfect. Just real quick. Perfect. Thank you. Here it is. And so this is just an example of what she wanted around the altar. So this can, as I say, you can just do you can set up a general altar. But in this connection, she shared with me specifically her colours were yellow and purple. Her colours were yellow and purple. She wanted yellow and purple flowers, which are up here. She chose the red candle to be in the centre. So this jumper, Tunkasila would have been 14 in June. This jumper is the jumper that I wore when I picked her up as a puppy, and she was like, that needs to be the altar cloth. She asked for certain plants to be around, so there was lemon balm, there was lemongrass. She asked for lemons, she asked for cob. There's some steak in here. There's a little bowl of water. She asked for yellow candles to be around. And then she asked for, what did she ask? For the flowers, the candles, the cob, the food, the flowers, the jumper. Yeah, that's what she asked for. And what was really beautiful, and it's like, so I appreciate, and it might be like everyone's that's joining tonight anyway, but I appreciate that I'm in a different relationship around death than most people, so I really appreciate that when my other dogs have passed, I did a similar ceremony for those. I really honoured them, and I was like, okay, I'm all right. I'm at peace. Like I'm a bit sad, but I'm at peace. And I always said to myself, when Tunkasila's gonna pass, I'll be fine. Like, I know I'll be fine, but I'm also going to be an absolute mess. I'm going to be an absolute mess because she's my heart dog. We've been through all this life journey together, and she's my soul being, and I'm just going to be a mess. And I even surprised myself at how okay I was, because the next thing that I did was the ceremony. And this is kind of what I want to go into, because for me, like, even people like that, Isla, are you okay? Like, everyone was really quite worried about me. And then I think people were more worried about me because they saw me being okay, and they were like, she's going to break down any minute. And don't get me wrong, like, there was times when I cried, and but just an the pain and the grief almost, and like, oh, I'd give anything to have her back tomorrow, was just consumed by this overriding sense of peace. And I absolutely certain it came from the ceremony. And that's why for me, by having that experience, I'm like, wow, to go into ceremony so deeply is healing in itself. It helps with the grieving process. And so also what she shared with me when I do these soul sessions, and I did this soul session for her, is that she shared with me her symbol. And so for me, like, I mean, I love sacred geometry. I love symbols. Symbols are the original language as I see it. Symbols speak to us, but in vibration, in shape, and therefore the shape that the symbol is in is a vibration that can also be self-healing, powerful. It can speak to us. And so that's how I see it now. I see it as Najal Najai, who is this spirit. So I see her as light, but also I will connect to her through her symbols. So we all have symbols. Like, you have a symbol, I have a symbol, everyone listening has a symbol. All of our animal friends have symbols, plants have symbols, trees have symbols, everything has a symbol, but it's not their symbol in the physical body that they're in, it's the symbol of their spirit, of their soul. So it's their symbol, and a vibration of, their vibration of them through a symbol. So that's the one that I drew out. So that's Tunkasila's, which, really speaks to my heart. It sits right in front of my altar, and I speak to her in that way as well. And so I had an understanding of what she wanted around the altar. I had an understanding of, that's what she wanted on the altar, which really threw me. She asked for lemon meringue pie, and I'm like, that, you've never had lemon meringue pie in your life. But it's fine. Like, I trust what I receive. So I get you lemon meringue pie. And actually we couldn't find any. So we got like these little lemon tart cake things. And given that she hadn't really been eating for a while, she ate it. She didn't eat it all, but she ate half of it, and I was just like, what? And that's why for me it just opens you up to this wider consciousness that we all are. Like, I would never ever give my dog lemon meringue pie just thinking that they would like it, but that was her share, and that's what she wanted also on the altar as well. So yeah, she got her lemon meringue pie, and then we went into this ceremony. And the ceremony was also, it wasn't just for her, it's almost like it's going into ceremony to honour your animal that is soon to pass. It's going into ceremony to prepare your space, and it's also going into ceremony to prepare yourself. So during this ceremony, there's times where I was like, I was probably crying my eyes out. But it was so powerful that's what I mean. It's just like, wow, all the grief that I was holding, all the releasing that I needed to do was just done and gone. And of course there's still a sense of like, wow, but her physical body isn't here anymore, so I missed that. But as I say, it was just this power of peace. By building, for me, it's like building power. Through the ceremony, I was building power, building power, building power, building strength, building strength, building strength. And she shared with me, there's an old band called Orbital, and there's a song, a tune called One Perfect Sunrise. And she's just like, you play that. In your ceremony, you play that over and over and over, and until it's almost, it's gone, you're done, it's gone. And so I played it, and I did. I danced for maybe 3 or 4 hours, and sometimes I danced and was crying my eyes out. Sometimes I danced and I was like, "What, like, real?" And sometimes I danced and I'm like, It's all in the body, right? It's you're coming out of you're really just in your body, in your heart. You're allowing your soul to guide you, and wow, my body wants to do this now. My body wants to cry now. My body kind of is hurting here now, and you're just going into that dance. So I haven't got a clue how long it took, but I know that I did 13 rounds because I then went into more of a shamanic ceremony with it of honoring the directions, honoring my power animals, like dancing with asking my power animals to come and give me strength, asking my spirit guides to come and give me strength, dancing for Tunkasila, dancing for myself, I was dancing for like anything else that needed to come through, all these different rests. It was like round. It was like almost like you were doing in a longer ceremony, I suppose, where you do different rounds, or like if you're doing a sweat lodge, you do like maybe 4 rounds or 6 rounds or however many rounds you're doing. So I just did round 1, round 2, and just kept going, and that was really, 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 really powerful. And you know what was really beautiful is that when I was doing this ceremony, like Tunkasila she just lay on the sofa the entire time and watched me the entire time. So yeah, I did this ceremony, and actually I need to backtrack. Before I did the ceremony, I cleansed the space. So I went round, not the entire house, just the downstairs where Tunkasila was going to pass. So I will share that it's always nice in a way if our dogs can pass naturally, if their body is not in too much discomfort. But she was sharing with me like she was done. She was like, we can keep on going. We can keep on going until I fall asleep. But she's like, I'm struggling here. I'm kind of done. So we did actually have vet assistance. So the vet was coming to the house. So I just cleared the space where she was going to be and where I was going to be preparing the space and doing the ceremony. And so I did that through, I did smudging. So I smudged, and then I got my rattle and just rattled all around, like the doors and the walls and the windows, just everywhere. And then I just sang with my drum. I just kind of sang a little song with my drum until, again, this is all felt, right? So I always say to my clients, don't think it, feel it. It's all felt sense, allowing your soul to experience. And just until it felt like, yeah, it feels really good. It feels really strong and powerful and clear. So then I went to this dancing ceremony. And then after that, I went into... I have like a few powwow tracks, and there was just one, what was it called now? I can't remember off the top of my head. Was it the Great Gathering? I think the Great Gathering. Anyway, I listened to this powwow again over and over. I think I did 7 rounds of that. And that was building power for Tunkasila. It was building power for Tunkasila and preparing her body, preparing her soul. Like, okay, this is going to be happening. And so just really through intention and just really strong intention and purpose of building now support and honouring and acknowledgement and acceptance that Tunkasila was going to pass soon. And then I did a little bit I did some blessing work around her. And then I sat with her and sang some songs. And then the vets came. Is that right? Then the vets came. What else did I need to share? Yeah, no, the vets came, and by that point we had the altar set up, we had the candles on. And then as he was just preparing her to give her the injection, at that point there's just some really simple words that you can say, which just go to the light. So I was just into Tunkasila. So if the animal is going to die at home, if the animal needs to pass at the vet practice, you can also share that. You can also share with them, like, this is what's going to happen now. You're going to be at the vet, but you're going to be super safe, or you're going to be at home. This is what's going to happen. You can share, okay, even just through imagination of getting through your imagination, connecting to your animal to say, like, your body's going to feel strange, like it's not going to be painful, but your body's going to feel strange, and you're just going to get really tired and you're going to fall asleep, and then you can share to them, just go to the light. And so what can happen is we have to, for me, the ceremony is building a strong heart, because often we can, of course, none of us wants our animal friends to go. That's the reality. None of us do. And so we can unconsciously say things like, please don't leave me. I'm not ready for you to go. What am I going to do without you? Please don't leave me. And what can happen is that the soul can get stuck. So the soul has to go back to their original home, as I call it, their original home, land of spirit, whatever we want to call it. They've got to go back to that original place. So sometimes, yeah, unconsciously, when we are saying those words, it can keep the soul trapped. And yeah, so I just assume, this is what's going to happen now. So just go to the light. You're safe. Just go to the light. We love you very much. We're here. We'll see each other again. Just go to the light. Go to the light. Go to the light. And then when she passed, I did some drumming and chanting, just drumming and chanting, drumming and chanting, drumming and chanting. And then I went for a night vigil. So, so aptly, the night that she passed was a full moon. So I went out with Grandmother Moon. So I kind of prayed to Grandmother Moon and just soaked up her medicine. And I walked with Grandmother Moon just for a bit of a night vigil. And again, it was intentional. So just allowing Tunkasila, just really sensing, seeing, feeling like she's passing now, and an easy transition, and saying to her, like, meet those that are waiting for you. So there's always, whether it is soul family or the spirit of a dog that they used to live with, or a family member, or there's always someone waiting for them. So it's like, go meet them. They're there, they're waiting for you, they can assist you. So go meet them, go to the light. So I went on this purposeful kind of night vigil with Grandmother Moon, came back, and then I explored to see if she needed what's called a psychopomp. So a psychopomp is it's a practice where you can sit with the soul, and it translates to spirit assist. So you're literally assisting the spirits back to its original home. So I sat with her just to like, I'll see how does she need assistance? And as I sat with my drum and checked in to see, does she need a psychopomp? It was just brilliant, because she was like, she'd gone. And so in my experience, most animals do. The animals that I've worked with that have passed, when I connect to see if they need a psychopomp, they've gone. Now, I will share in my experience that's happened around either when I've done a soul session for their animal that is about to pass or soon to pass, or I've given them the general information of, like, set up this space, tell your animal to go to the light, really prepare yourself. But she was already gone. And so when I sat with her, that's when she said, I am Najal Najai, and this is the way that we're going to work. She said, I'll share with you what she said, actually. And then after that, it just felt really powerful to still stay up all night. So I didn't actually end up staying up all night. Like, as Amrys will know, like, my bedtime is super early. Well, not super early, but for most adults, it's early. But I stayed up, I think, till about 1:30 in the morning, just with Grandmother Moon, and I just drummed, and then just sat quietly, and then drummed and sat quietly. Then I was like, oh, okay, there's a little bit more releasing to do, so I'm just going to cry. I'm fine, I'm not distressed, I just need to cry. My body's telling me I need to cry, so that's what I'm going to do. And there was such a sense of just deep peace, such a sense of deep peace, that even though my heart was still like, whoa, my heart is hurting, and it's weird not having her physical body around, and I miss her dearly, like, we can't, when that time's going to come, it's going to come. We have no way of swaying that. We have no way of being in control of that. And so it's a beautiful teaching around, like, letting go of trying to be in control. And it's also beautiful when we step into a ceremonial way, because we've lost a job, we've lost in a relationship, loss is an initiation. So when we start to go, this is initiation now, my soul is ready for this next step. My soul is now ready for this initiation, to be stronger, to be greater, to be more powerful in that way. Then we can see it as initiation. And so really, with deep focus and intention, treat it like a very deep and meaningful and honourable and respectful and sacred ceremony. We're honouring the sacred that our animal is. We're honouring the sacredness of the soul and the spirit that they become. And then she asked to have, she just wanted a bit of time just to allow her spirit to settle. That's, I guess, my choice of words. Just allow her spirit to arrive. And then we were to do this connection. And she shared that she wanted to be, like, really playful. Something came to me about, like, the elders' treehouse. She was sharing about the elders' treehouse. And for me, like, elders, the depiction of an elder is a wise, old, ancient, grand elder that's full of wisdom. Like, you sit down, it's like that, oh, like, what? Like, that wisdom is so amazing. So there was this, like, elders' treehouse. The treehouse is playful, it's fun, it's like, just stop taking yourself so seriously, let's have some play in this. And so, yeah, we created this space called Najal Najai's treehouse, which is really just her sharing or me sharing when I'm been working with her. So yesterday she came in one of the soul sessions that I did for a dog, or anything that's kind of coming through in the spiritual work or the shamanic practice that I do. And there was then these shares. So one of the shares was, I asked her, well, it's not too long. I literally just asked her, what do you have to share on death? That's all I said to her. And these are her words, which I'll read this one out, then I'll read the other one out as well. So what do you have to share on death? And so her reply was, nothing. Death does not exist. Now, transformation, on the other hand, that is something very different. Death is so final when there is nothing final in passing over, passing on. To be, to become, to only be again. It is a cycle that you see for some time. It is a cycle that you see for some of the time, but it is not always seen in the way you know. I do not want to speak of death. This is not a word that I would use. This is not a word that holds the power, the ceremony, the sacredness and celebration that it once did of a being leaving their physical body. Death is a pain of the fear of forgetting and being forgotten. Death is a suffocation that ends the significance of dying. I am not to die and be no more. No one is. I am not to die and to not exist. No one is. I am to die when my spirit brings me my death song, which we all have, and I know I am to immerse myself in it. I am to immerse myself in it like a warrior going home. When this is time and it is not now, I will have already made peace with this, and I am at peace with this. I do not sit and wait. I do not sit and wonder when this will be. It is programmed into me as it is programmed into all of us. Seek this programming. It was whispered into our soul, into you long, long ago. It was a teaching, a training of a mission you accepted, knowing when the mission is to end, there will be a homecoming. I do not care of knowing, of waiting, of wondering when my homecoming is to be. When it is to be will be in that exact moment. It will be my mother calling me, my father drumming for me, my grandmother bathing me, my grandfather singing for me, and my brothers and sisters running up to me rejoicing and welcoming me home. I want you to know of the warmth that is waiting when this time comes for me, for you, for us all. Yes, when my time comes, it will not be warm for you immediately, but it is my homecoming, and I nod my head with what awaits. You will hold me in song, in ceremony, in a deep heart calling, crying, and know I echo your call in the flame of the light, the fire, the candle, the sun, the dusk, and the dawn. We are to have an incredible journey in this way when I can provide more for you, where I guide you as spirit grandmother in your own quest. There will be songs to be sung, stories to tell, and much sharing and celebration. It will be a legacy just as Tunkasila holds in the great mystery. I will return to be part of it. So let's not speak of this death as it is considered today, for death is nothing. It does not exist, but only in the word. Let us share, celebrate, and announce the homecoming, and that there is nothing to fear. It will be the most beautiful homecoming that you could not even imagine until you also see it. This is what I want you to know. This is what I want you to be at peace with. This is what I want you to sing from your heart when my time comes and when your time comes. We are simply reflections of love, warriors of the heart, soldiers of light, and when our duty is done, we hear the call of our song within us and all around us, in everything that we have existed with at that time, the plants, the wind, the waters, the animals, the stars. We hear the call of our song, and while singing, we return home. There is no fear. There is nothing to fear. Be at peace. Be at peace, for I already am. Simply, when that time comes, stand present, join in with all, join in with me, and sing my death song with me. And even still reading that, I'm like, oh, so powerful, so powerful and strong. And so even that share, right, just brought me so much peace. And that's really what I want to share from, even from connecting with her in that way, and also connecting with the dogs that I have that are soon to pass. I cannot, and it's only my experience for the animals that I've done this for, but I can't explain, well, I can, but like how at peace they are. They are already so accepting, they're already so at peace, they're already in their own ceremony. There's just pure acceptance of like, yeah, and this time comes, and if it's going to be so, I'll come back around again another time. I'll come back around again another time. I'll come back around again another time if it's to be so. So it's almost like they go into their own space of honouring and holding and ceremony and in that way. and therefore also a deep peace, a deep, deep peace. From a soul level, sometimes, even if I'm connecting with a dog that's like, your physical body is not having a great time with your slow death, but the soul's like, yeah, but that's my physical body, that's not my soul, it's my physical body. And then so when I went into that night with her, so the night as she'd passed, and this is the second share that she had, and she shares, everything is so perfectly timed. Trust that we are more in control of our departure than you can know. You will also be more in control of your departure than you know. There is nothing to fight, nothing to defeat, nothing to be up against. This is the beauty of life and the gift of death. It is a gift. It may feel strange to hear these words with death, but death is a gift. Is it not a gift to be out of a failing body? Is it not a gift to have freedom from a body that was creating more restriction? Is it not a gift to no longer be unlimited, to no longer suffer and be suffering? The death of me may not be a gift to you, but it is a gift for me. It allows me to be free. It allows me to return to source, return to self and all that is possible. It is a gift that allows me to return home. It is a gift that allows me to guide you, to remain connected and advise you from this place and in this way. Death is a gift. My death is a gift for me, and in time you will understand how it is one of the greatest gifts you can ever receive too. There is work to be done. We have work to do. Allow me to be with my welcoming team, to meet my assembly, and I will then call upon you, call for you, and our work can begin. We have already been doing this, but now, my friend, it is the perfect timing to share more through me as I exist in this way. The spirit where I share from, the spirit with you, and you speak through spirit to share to all. You hold the language of the light, the language of the stars, and you can speak of this in a way that illuminates the light and star within each and every one. There is nothing to know, just do, act out and be guided. Allow the pull of the star to guide you and navigate you. Allow me to guide you and navigate you. There is nothing else to work out from here. And so that's what she shared. Yeah, just yeah. I'm trying to remember now. Yeah, that was the night, yeah, when I was in the ceremony, so before she passed, and that was her final share before she passed. And then the next day again, so when the share of like the dusk and the dawn and everything is, there's this really deep sense with her sharing of, she was sharing like great mysteries everywhere. And so in the work that I do, I have an awareness of great mystery, it's like the unknown, of like, wow, great mystery is all around and we're part of the great mystery, but what is it exactly? And that's what she was sharing of. It was almost after the ceremony, after she passed, and I went for this night vigil. The next morning I woke up, I went for my walk, I stood with the sunrise and just kind of did a bit of a morning meditation with the morning sun. And it really was, I was just like, whoa, like I understand the great mystery, but I was like, I can see it far more clearly now. Like everything just popped, like even around like a tree, like a leaf, there was this beautiful like energy of light just around everything. Everything just popped. And it's almost like I can still see that now of like, she's pulling me because we're in a new relationship now. And that's why it's like, wow, I missed your physical body, but I haven't lost you. We're in a new relationship. That new relationship is guiding me into going, I guess, deeper into the forest, the woods, the space of great mystery. And so that's coming through with our connection. And really a connection which is quite clear from yesterday is one of the ways that we're going to work is actually through psychopomp. So I did a psychopomp for her and I don't need the psychopomp. But yeah, she's to work with me when I'm doing psychopomp on others. She's going to be there to help bring the soul home as well. And then those other words that I'm going to share. Let me go here. So these aren't my words. This came from, as I say, when we watched A River Runs Through It. But I just spoke so deeply to my soul. But from a soul level, I know it will speak to all souls because it really is the great mystery, the magic of life, the wow, what actually happens in the spaces that we can't see, but we know exist. And so the words are, as the moon lingers a moment over the bitter roots, before its descent into the invisible, My mind is filled with song. I find I am humming softly, not to the music, but something else, some place else. A field of grass where no one seems to have been, except the deer, and the memories are strengthened by the feelings of you. And really simple, but really pure and really potent, and yeah, just that place of like, yeah, I can't see her anymore, but in everything, in the wind, in the sun, in a bird flapping its wings, I'm like, and that's also a great mystery, and then that's also Najal Najai, and that's also Tunkasila. So it's really just opened me up even more to exist in the connection with spirit and exist from the soul, which is stepping into the wider consciousness, this really the wider consciousness that we are, that our animal friends are, and exploring what it is to be in that place with them, exploring to be in that level of intelligence, as I say, not intellect, intelligence with them, which is the vibration, which is their soul that they are, and this soul holds wisdom for us to receive, so that we can also return back to our own soul and experience life from that place. And it's not it's a practice. It's like if you go to the gym once a year, you're probably not going to see any difference. It's a practice, but it's not honestly, if I can do it, everyone can do it, and that is really my share there. If I can do it, everyone can do it, and this is the place. Now that I can do it and I'm there, it's like I want everyone to taste it. I want everyone to taste it, because even at times when there are challenges, even at times when there's turbulence, even at times when you're like, I don't even know what's going to go on, you're just like, but I trust. I don't even know what the outcome is, but you know what? Wow, I have such a deep sense of connection, such a deep sense of trust, a deep sense of knowing, even though I don't know. Like, we just get more and more clarity, and we get more and more love of ourselves, and understanding in a deeper way of our journey, our life experiences, who we are, our transparency and vulnerability, and all these beautiful things that we're told that we shouldn't be or are not true. And really, that's why our animal friends come to us. Our animal friends come to us to show us, to guide us, to share with us how it is safe to be happy, how we can be happy, how it is our right to be happy, and also how to heal, how to be on that healing journey. And that's where kind of like I want us all to be, because it's so powerful, like so powerful, not just for ourselves, but then into the collective,
Well, Isla, I don't know why, but normally when we have these monthly meetups, I'm usually sitting on my own. But tonight, my dog actually allowed me to sit with her while she was sleeping very peacefully, listening to you, by the way. Um, Najal Najai's message. So, she was actually here with me the whole time. Um, so I don't know, is it, you know, she's maybe, connecting as well in this circle in her own way, but what you shared, I feel it.
Mm.
I
Mm.
really, I really feel it. So thank you. That's very beautiful.
Mm.
Very, very
You're
beautiful.
so welcome. Yeah, and of course it's even in the soul sessions, right? Like I did one this just before we jumped on the call. I recently, well, about an hour before our call, I just finished a soul session, and it was for a cat, and then went into, so the cat needed I did a little bit of a shamanic healing for the cat. So I'm working to add some information for this. I'm working remotely, so I call the animal's soul into my room, and I do the work, and then I play that recording back to the guardian, and then there shows up the cat, and the cat's like, yeah, I so want to listen to this. And then I do a share of like I'll sit connected to the soul of the animal, and then the animal will start to speak, and so it's almost like I'm speaking for the animal, so that will come through as a recording, and again the cat sat through it. So it's a real, again, we're stepping beyond. I mean, we know, like, everything is vibration, right? Everything is vibration and frequency. It's just that we get so shut off by existing in the mind, or kind of not being, it's kind of thrown into the unconscious. Whereas what I want us to do is kind of bring it back into the conscious, and existing in this place. But non-human animals are already there. Non-human animals are already with and in and dancing with that vibration. So absolutely, with these type of things, it's really common for the animals to go, oh, I know what's coming up next, or I know what this bit is, and I want to be part of it, just to also honor in a sacred way. Yeah, really beautiful that they were with you.
Yeah. Um, is there any questions from the floor here that you would like to ask Isla, or any comments? No? Okay, because I was hoping. Oh, hang on.
Hello. I
Hi,
love
hi.
I love this uh, the inner weather that you create when you speak about your pets. I have three dogs, and I learn a lot from them. I also buried many dogs, and I still feel the sadness. Uh, yeah. But I try to focus on the lessons that they teach me. Like, oh, now they are playing a little dangerous. Okay, nothing happens. That's what it is. The way they take a rest, for example. I learned from that because I sometimes think we humans lost the capacity for just being with us, and that's the message that I see when I see my pet rest, and when they give me love. You know, some years ago, I think that they want my love, but I realized that they're giving me their love. I love my pets. They're a very important part of my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Saul. Thank you. And yeah, they are. I mean, non-human animals are that vibration of love, and that's why they so desperately in all these different ways um, show us to remember to love ourselves really. And I don't really, well, it's the truth of just, yeah, constantly reminding us to like love yourself. And even there, when there was like so authentically shared of, wow, like I still feel the sadness of the dogs that I've been with, and then have they're no longer with me physically, and then that dip in energy, right? Like, oh, I do feel that sadness, and then in comes the dogs to be like, yeah, but how can we make fun of life still? And so they kind of brought in that little play. They, when we are conscious, but for me, conscious of being conscious, so they are so sensitive, particularly to their satellite, their core of their family, to that constant reminder of, yes, they are love. How do we be love? They are love, and really, and this is not my share, this is from the soul sessions that I've done, from connecting to like the collective conscious of canines. The message that I get time and time again is like, we are here to show you how to be happy and to heal. We are here to show you how to be happy and how to heal. And then we can even go down the route of then reflections of when our dogs are doing things that are creating a dense emotional charge in ourselves. That is not, and then we reflect that onto the dog, right? Oh, you're naughty, bad, whatever we may be saying. That dog is still from that place of love, that unconditional love of still considering us by going, no, no, don't look at me, look at yourself. When I'm doing something that creates this dense emotional charge, look within to go, oh, how am I feeling right now? I'm feeling anger, disappointment, frustration, confusion, embarrassment, whatever it may be. That is then the message of healing. It's not that your dog is creating that. The dog is so beautifully showing up to go, and here's a little medicine, here's a little bit of medicine, a little pill through me to take, to go, where does that come from? Because now you're ready to explore that wound. And that's why I love living with our non-human animals, because when we're in that place of being conscious with them, then we can really, yeah, take them as that medicine for our own healing journey with them, which gets to be, yeah, really beautiful. And so for you as well, honor that as well. If you're still feeling the sadness, then that is also perfect and okay and fine. And that also might be a holding of, wow, where else may I might be holding sadness. My animals that are now passed are creating this still reflection, this emotion for me. And it could be it's just them, but is there any sadness held elsewhere? And it might be worth just exploring, going into a ceremony, or going into this way of, wow, how can I connect with them? Because although they're not physically with you anymore, they're now spirits, so it won't be. And so sometimes when we're connecting then to the spirit of what the animal was, then the spirit that the animal was will show itself as the animal, so it can make us, because as humans we can really freak out if we see something that looks very alien, or see something, what, that's not human like, or that's not animal like, I've never seen this before. So that's what, like, even spirit guides, right, often spirit guides will look human form, because it's helpful for us as humans to go, there's my spirit guide and it looks kind of like a human, or it is a human, or, and sometimes like, oh, it's my deceased grandfather or whoever it may be, but they're spirits, so they're no longer that physical being. So that there might be that journey that you can do. There is, do you know if there's time? Maybe we can do this anyway. There is actually there's a meditation that I do, which is specifically for where animals have passed, and it's just basically a guided journey. It's a guided journey where we can go into this space, this land, and be with those beings, and be with them, journey with them, and also release whatever we need to release. And sometimes it is actually, we hold that sadness, or we feel that sadness because we are still holding that sadness. Now, with sadness as well, when it's held in the body, it can also create physical pain that we just think is unrelated to, like, yeah, but I'm getting on a bit, or it's because I fell off my bike and hurt my knee. And really go deeper of, like, is that a separate connection, or is it from this pain, this sadness, this grief that I'm still holding? Yeah, and there's other things that can be done as release. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you, Saul. One thing for me, because I am a community cat volunteer in my neighborhood, so I sterilize the stray cats and I feed them, I take care of them. I have a mini farm here. I've got 12 cats and one dog. I used to have two dogs, um, and I actually resonate very deeply with what Isla is teaching, because before I was, I felt the calling, or I was awakened in that sense. I was starting to feel extremely burnt out, because I thought I had to keep giving and giving and giving as a rescuer, as a fosterer. And I just realized that it wasn't helping my animals, because they could sense the stress as well. And obviously, it wasn't helping me, because I was so burnt out in so many ways, financially, emotionally, physically. And I think that's why I'm so drawn towards conscious caregiving for animals, because when we start learning how to take care of ourselves, in spirit with our animals, no, excuse me, my nose is running. Uh, but yeah, when we start being in sync with the universe, with our spirit guides, with, just with our pets, just be with them. Somehow I don't know, for me, I feel so much more at peace, that, as I was saying, like, I love being with non-humans so much. It's a lot easier, less noise, you know. Yeah. So this is something that I really really love. And thank you, Mercedes, for your greetings from Costa Rica. I love the fact that we have people coming from Panama, Costa Rica. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually calling in from Singapore, so it's about 3 a.m. over here. But Isla, if no one else has anything that they want to share, contribute, I would really like to take up Isla's offer to lead us in a meditation to guide us. I think it also helped with Saul and everyone else who might be feeling something. Oh, Isla, thank you.
You're so welcome. So, so welcome.
Today is really strange when in the beginning because I suddenly had a very sharp pain in my heart pulling out and the back of my right shoulder as well. I felt this intense pain as well coming out and something around my forehead as well. It was really, really strange. Very strange sensation. But as you were guiding us and sending it out, it got less and less, and yeah. So don't
Yeah,
know what that was.
and yeah, it's interesting because of course your body will know the intention of our talk today, right? And the body, as I say, the body is, it's like a navigation tool. So that's why I always say to be pay attention. Like when there's pain somewhere, pay attention to. We can journey with it. We can journey with the body. We can journey with that pain to be like, wow, like, yeah, like what do you have to say? What do you have to share? Let's go into this journey. Thank you for sharing that, Amrys. That's really, yeah, beautiful. Just do a check-in to make sure everyone is okay. Sure, Patty and Kimberly look okay, but Mercedes, we can't see you, so just want to check in that you're okay too. And then I guess we'll close the circle, Amrys, unless there's anything
Yeah.
else that you want to bring in tonight.
Oh,
Is it okay if I talk?
yeah.
Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
That was lovely. It was kind of an interesting, I had a menagerie with me of animals from 30 years ago and animals that I've encountered diving and snorkeling and animals that have been in my care in the past that I miss. It was really lovely. But I'm also kind of grieving that my animal care team is kind of falling apart right now. I've lost a few people just to other jobs because they're tired of what's happening right now. And I'm feeling that loss. We had kind of a dream team, and it helped me process that a bit too. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing, Patty. And yeah, like we were saying before you jumped on the call, I mean, loss is loss, regardless of whether it's loss of a loved one that is no longer with us, or it's loss of relationship or job. It's an initiation. So we wherever there is loss, the invitation, I would always say the invitation is, yeah, this is an initiation. This is, so we go into ceremony, that we do go into mourning because it's something that we had and now we don't have anymore. So thank you for sharing that, of honoring that. Wow, we did have this dream team, and how do I listen to my heart, my soul, my body, of how that's making me feel and how I hand over, and also what else that's reminding me of maybe some other losses that you've had in younger years that maybe sit in the unconscious, or you haven't been able to acknowledge. And also with that, the beauty of, I will also share that when spaces become open, where we can be like that, oh, but this is what we once had, or I'm holding on to it because it's so familiar. It's actually, the beauty is, and when things fall away, as we are shifting and evolving, it actually brings in openness for even better things to come in. Even if it may not feel like that at the time. That's
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm a couple of years from retirement, and it was one of those things where I never imagined myself leaving this job, but it's opening up what I need to leave too, and the possibilities. And for me, it's climate action and stepping away from direct animal care to caring about the animals across the globe.
Yeah, beautiful. What beautiful work. Thank you. Yeah. What great group, eh? What great people. Oh, our hearts. Yeah. Okay. Let us just close the space. Thank you for all being with us, being with me, for listening, for sharing. Yeah, so beautiful.
So,
Okay.
Isla, one quick question, and that's like, I'm not even sure where I stumbled into you guys. So will there be, like, how often do you gather?
Every month. Yeah, the first Thursday of every month.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is it always this Zoom number?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually so go for it.
Yeah, you should be able. Well, I'll post the event on the Connections app. So it's called Conscious Caregiving for Animals, where you saw, probably that's where you saw and clicked in. So yeah, so unless there's a change, I'll let everyone know. But as far as we can, Isla and I, we meet every first Thursday of the month to have this soul connection. So
Okay.
always welcome to join us.
Yeah. And
Wonderful.
actually, with that, in July, I'm here for June. So June, I go away on a shamanic camp, but I'm sure I'm here in June. But July, I will either have to just reschedule or just postpone July because I'm away at summer camp. So of that Thursday. And I just want to honour Mercedes as well. Mercedes has just put in the chat, like, so thank you for sharing. I'm pleased that you connected in that way, and I want to share because often we can as human guardians, particularly for animals that we've had in the past, that like, oh, maybe now I know better and I'm different with the dogs that I have now than the dogs or cats or whatever animal we had in the past. And so Mercedes asked for her animal friend to forgive her, and your animal friend always forgives you. Your animal friend already forgives you, because the soul and spirit don't operate from judgment or ego or blame or shame. I can share that with you right now. Your own soul forgives you because your own soul doesn't operate from that place. This place does. And what I will share as well is, because we are all souls, the animals that we came to live with at that time, their soul also agreed to have that experience with you. So it's not just you. You're going to say that again. Their soul, the soul of that animal at that time, also agreed to have that experience. Whether it is to be there to help you to learn and know better and be better, to have that experience of what it's like to be this animal at this time, because maybe in another past life they had a different experience. Some level we don't need to know, but yeah, all the experiences that all souls have, they've agreed to. Okay. So we'll just close the circle. Great Spirit, great Creator, great Mystery. Our spirit helpers, spirit guides, spirit allies, now power animals. And all the spirits that came to be with us in the circle, that came to stand with us, to support us, to assist. And our animal friends that also came with us today to offer support, assistance, advice, guidance, or just to be. We thank you. And so our time together has come to an end. The circle is closed. So you are free to go to where it is you reside until we call upon you again the next time that we meet, and we ask you to come and be with us. And for now, the circle is closed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good see how, yeah, good see how, yeah, good see how. Beautiful. Let me just check if that's Mercedes again. You're so welcome, Mercedes. So welcome. Thank you for being with me, and thank you for being with us all. And yeah, just I love just being together in this way. It just creates such, even in such small circles, is so powerful. Yeah, coming together as one heart, one mind, coming together with the same passions, desires, knowing, wants, exploration, or knowing that it's like, hey, it is okay to not have the answers, but still explore and talk about it and be in this place of wider consciousness and intelligence. So I am sending you all so much love and many blessings, and I will see you, for those that can join, in the next one.
Okay,
Many
thank you,
blessings.
everyone. Take care.
Thanks so much.
Good night. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.
Wow, I'm so thankful and grateful that you took the time to listen to this podcast. It would mean the world to me if you could subscribe, download, rate, review, and share this with others whom you care about that may enjoy it as well. Thank you, and remember to be kind to yourself and others. Have a awesome day, everyone.